Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Samp&Chance. I'm your host, Bobby Sampson, and joined with me as always is the man with the master plan, Mr. Chance Michaels. Chance, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing wonderful, man. I'm excited coming off a hot weekend of boxing, another hot weekend coming up. How about you?
Yeah, pretty good, man. So we're gonna go full blow and launch this boxing side of things now. We've only done one, so this is number two for us. So yeah, let's get right into it, man. So April, we've been talking about April quite a bit as it is a huge month for boxing. It seems like they crammed everything into 1 month here. I'm kind of afraid to see what we have to look forward to for the rest of the year, unless some of these guys decide to fight again. But it's that kind of month, man. We started off here with April the 9th. We started with Triple G against Murata, and we ended the night with Ryan Garcia versus Emmanuel Tagoe. In between, there were a few other fights that were happening the same night. We'll touch on all of them, but let's start with what started off the month of April for us here, man. Triple G versus Murata in Japan. This was a really early morning fight, but I think it was worth it. It was really good. IBF, WBA, middleweight titles were on the line here. Both guys were up for a year. Um, what were your expectations going into this fight before we break it down?
Well, like I talked to you the night before the fight, and what I said, I think under 11 rounds, I think I said, Triple G will stop him. Murata's good. He's a respected fighter, but he's never been in there with the class of a Triple G. And
Mm-hmm.
it went the way I expected, although the first few rounds, Murata hurt him with those body shots. He came to fight, man. Murata's no joke. It just that when Triple G got comfortable, turned it up, he put the gas on it, and it was all over, right? But
Yeah, no,
that's kind of how I
100%.
felt.
Yeah,
I was excited, man, because Triple G is one of my favorite fighters,
mhm.
and I'm so happy to have him win. And because now in September, if Canelo beats Dimitri, which I think he will, they won't be fighting at 160. They're fighting at 168 at super middleweight. That means if Triple G does beat Canelo, he'll take all four of Canelo's belts. Plus the two Triple G has, he could possibly have six belts if
Oh,
he
wow.
beats Canelo. It's a big if.
Yeah.
That's why they're fighting at 168. The last two fights are at 160. They're going 168 this time.
Okay, okay. Yeah, well,
Yep.
like I said, both these guys were both of them had been up for a year, and it looked
Mm-hmm.
I was saying to you, I'm not sure if ring rust will be a factor in this fight or not. Early on, it looked like it was a factor,
It
or was
was.
it him just, finding his range and everything? But Murata came out pretty fast in this fight.
Yep.
I think outside of the first round, which I gave to Triple G, I think he took two, three, and four, in my opinion.
He did. You're
He
right.
just outworked him. He just outworked him, and I
He
think
hurt him. He got on
he
some big
hurt
body
him.
shots. Like
No,
Triple
he got
G.
him with some real big body shots, and that's his weakness, right? That concerns me going against Canelo, because Canelo's power is triple of what Murata was putting out, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
So if that's the case, I'm afraid what those body shots can do to him.
He's gonna feel it, man. He's gonna have to have a game plan for that. So I'm
Yeah,
sure he
no, for
will.
sure. But Triple G did take over in the fifth round, and it was pretty evident going forward from the sixth onwards. Hurt him pretty bad near the end of the eighth round. He came out in the ninth. He looked dazed, and he just basically finished him off in that ninth round. The corner threw in the towel. Referee kind of figured that was enough too.
Right,
Um,
right decision by the corner. He was getting pummeled. Not worth risking brain damage. Right.
no, and if you look at Murata, he wasn't upset by it. It's almost like he kind of accepted it, and he saw that was something that was the right call at the time.
It was a
But
pretty
yeah,
exciting fight. Like it was a good fight. Murata put up a good fight.
yeah,
I mean, it was exciting, man. I watched it at 6 in the morning, and I was jacked after that. I
yeah.
was like,
No,
oh,
same
yeah,
here,
get your
100%.
fight out.
But
One thing
like I
I got
said,
to say about both guys, Triple G and Murata,
mhm,
both guys are first class, such gentlemen. Triple G put his robe on him after. They were shaking hands. Like the
yeah,
Japanese people are known to be very classy, but both fighters, class personified, both of them.
no, and
No
I was
trash
re-
talk, just fought, and
no,
then after that, they're buddies again. You know how it should be.
well, it was kind of like I was reading this quote from Tyson Fury today, and it kind of summarizes all of this. In my opinion, it's just like you have to respect anybody who steps in that ring.
Yes.
Like you and I are talking about it. Yeah, we probably, hit the bag a few times here and there and trained and whatnot, but to actually go in and take a shot and fight. You have to, no matter what level you're at. If you go in that ring and you put on a show, you deserve respect regardless.
Yep.
And I love that for boxing. For the most part, 99% of everyone who competes in a boxing ring has that respect. Fortunately, it's that 1% to Teofimo Lopez's and guys like him.
Sometimes Floyd Mayweather.
You know what? He's retired. I'm just thinking more of
Oh, you're
who's
talking
out
hard
there
guys.
now.
Yeah, Tefino Lopez,
Um,
he's a piece of garbage, man. I hate to say that, it's strong words, but him and his dad, man,
I think he would
the way
be
they talk and
better.
act, it's not cool.
He would be better served if his dad wasn't in the picture.
Yes.
He reminds me, and I'm not a huge basketball guy, but those brothers,
Oh, the
Smith
Ball
brothers.
brothers.
Yeah, yeah,
His dad, LeVar, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So like that dad reminds me of him.
No, that's a
You
fair
know,
comparison.
like I don't know. I just something about him. I just can't put my finger on it. Like he's not gracious in defeat. He's not gracious in victory. He's just I don't know, man. He just rubs me the wrong way. Hey, enough
Yeah, dude.
negative talk.
And Lopez is a great fighter. He's got all the talent in the world, but he's got to get rid of his dad. I know that's hard to do, though, right?
But you have to. I mean, at the end of the day, if he wants to be successful, you have to walk away from him. And, maybe his dad can be in his corner. Not every dad is meant to be a trainer. Like Sean Porter's dad is the exception. I think he's an amazing trainer. I think he has value and everything like that.
Floyd
So,
Mayweather's dad's a good trainer, too. There's a few, but
yeah,
not many.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like a lot of the dads that do get involved for their own benefits, for their own gains, and, trying to kind of make a buck off their offspring, as far as I
Yeah.
see it, anyways. I
Yeah,
don't
no,
know.
you're right, dude.
But hey, man, enough negative. Let's get to Ryan Garcia versus Emmanuel Tagoe. I was really looking to this fight, lightweight fight for 12 rounds. It was in San Antonio, Texas, at the Alamo Dome, I believe it was.
Yeah, Alamo Dome was.
That was a card that also had the first, the women flyweights had the inaugural ring title there, which Esperanza beat the Japanese her Japanese opponent for. Also on that fight, we had Shane Mosley Jr. win his first title. Um, but that just led right up where we are now with this fight that took place afterwards, the main event of the night. Um, First and foremost, I felt this fight could have been a lot more better. Uh, it takes two hands to clap. I'm saying this right off the bat, and you'll understand why. It takes two hands to clap. You can't clap with one hand. And I felt that Emmanuel was just staying on his back foot too much. He was not engaging. I don't feel that he brought the fight, which I feel that Ryan needed to kind of adjust for and change his game plan for. But I think the problem with Ryan is he was trying too hard to get that knockout. I mean, he knocked him down in the second round.
Mhm.
But then thereafter, all he tried to do was power shots. He wasn't using his jab at all. I don't know if this is just because he has a new trainer in Joe Goosen, the Jay Leno of the boxing world, as I like to say, with his denim shirts. Um, but I just felt this reminded me a lot of Yoel Romero versus Israel Adesanya in that fight, where Romero wouldn't really open up or give any looks to him for him to kind of engage.
Mhm.
So, I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I thought Emmanuel was fighting on the ropes the whole night, man. It seemed like he was pressed against the ropes every time, right? I
Hmm.
think he just went into survival mode. He wanted to survive, and he didn't get knocked down the second round. But you know what? He hung around there. He was slippery. He's a little guy, the height difference. He's kind of sneaking around. And at the end of the day, this is a tune-up fight. Garcia, was supposed to finish him. He dominated the whole fight. It wasn't even close. I don't even think to go even one round, did he? I don't think so.
No, no, he didn't win a single round at all.
But
And
he
the
hung in there and he
unfortunate,
stayed alive.
yeah, but that's not fun.
I
If
wasn't
you,
that impressed with Garcia, to be honest with you, dude. I thought he should have done better.
I think he did as good as he could considering what he was offered. Nothing against Garcia. His shots were crisp. He was hitting them. He was landing everything. But like I said, I think he was just going for the knockout. He wasn't using his technical abilities as well as
Yeah.
he could have. Um, like a
But what
you
is
know,
Garcia? 23, 24, and Triple G just went over to Japan in Buddy's backyard and knocked him down, put him out. And you couldn't put out this guy who's barely fought anybody credible, and you couldn't even finish him.
Well, okay, you know what?
What's going to happen when Garcia fights a top guy? I don't know.
Credit.
Yeah, I know Garcia is not a knockout guy like a Triple G. I get that, but what I'm saying is he should have hammered this guy a little bit better. I felt he dominated, but I thought it wasn't very. I don't know.
Well, credit to Emmanuel Tagoe.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
I mean, I'm wondering. I haven't really looked at him since the fight, but I wonder what has more marks on him, his face or his back, from being on the ropes all night.
Oh, he was on the ropes.
Um, right? Uh, Tagoe, like I said, he was just fighting on his back, but he wasn't really offering much. He wasn't giving too much to Ryan either.
No, he
That
had a
being
good
said,
game plan.
but that being said, like you said, you know, Triple G, yes, he knocked out Murata and whatnot, but Murata engaged him. Murata bought the fight.
Oh, I hear you.
Whereas Emmanuel, you could count. Like I can tell you right now, his best shots, the best two shots he had were in the seventh and the eighth round, where he tagged him.
Yeah, he did.
Right, and that's unfortunate. Where I can sit here and tell you the exact shots that he made.
I know.
Right. That being said, Ryan should have done better. You're right. He had every opportunity in the world. Of course, he had every shot at it, and he couldn't
The
get
guy
him
was on the
down.
ropes the whole night. You got to finish him.
Right, but that's a testament to this guy as well. How good is
Yeah.
this little guy's chin, man? I mean,
Hey, Emmanuel's got a heart of gold, man. He's a warrior.
Yeah, no, for sure. So the biggest questions coming out of this was, did he show any ring rust after 15 months out of the ring? I don't think he did. I just don't think he had any finish. I don't know if that was just him trying too hard to get the knockout for the crowd, or was it him just getting used to Joe Goossen's style of fighting opposed to Eddie Reneso's style?
I think
Did
it's a
you see?
combination of all the
Did you
above.
see much difference in his style this time around? Did you
I
notice
didn't really
anything?
notice much of a difference, to be honest.
Yeah, nor did I. And keep in mind, he was coming off surgery off his right hand as well.
Yeah.
So it didn't look like it was affecting him too much. Because I mean that right hand was working, his left hand was working, but like I said, he was just working power shots for you. He was just going for that knockout, left, right, hooks, uppercuts, what have you. But that jab, man, you needed to utilize his jab, in my opinion.
I thought so.
Right? If he kept working the jab, he would soften him up, and I guarantee he would have knocked him out in the ninth or 10th round. I mean, the fact that he stood with him for the whole thing like that, just kind of, yeah, you're right. It raises questions. It raises questions on where's he going to go and who's next for him. The talk is, Javante, Tank, right? But he's got to fight babyface Romero. Coming up in May. So that's going to be kind of an interesting fight.
From what I see from Garcia and what I seen Tank fight last, I think Tank's going to take him. I mean, anything can happen in a fight, but my money would be on Tank.
Yeah.
If I was a betting man, which I am, I would put my money on Tank.
At this point, I would have to agree with you just based on his performance that night. But then again, I want to see what Tank does against Romero, because I really feel this is probably going to be the first, if not second, big real test for him.
Yeah.
Right. Romero's no joke either.
No,
Romero can fight, right? I just wish he wouldn't talk.
Yeah.
Neither of those guys should talk, in my opinion. They're just not really good talkers.
No, that's for sure.
But
it was a great weekend of fights, though. Like I said, my boy Triple G got the win, and I was telling you on the phone, I hope he stops him.
Yeah.
And that way he gets Canelo, and all Canelo has to do is win, and we got that super fight. Trilogy Part 3 at 168 for all of Canelo's belts, plus 2 of Triple G's. I mean, I can't wait.
That's really a sick fight. Again, I'm only concerned...
I'll be there, by the way. If it's in Vegas, I'll be there.
Well, you know what? Maybe I'll be there too.
Yeah, I'd like you to come too.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. Even though I'm a major Triple G fan, Canelo is the favorite in this fight, just because of the age, and it's been 5 years since their first fight. So Canelo will be the betting favorite. So
I think people are looking past Bivol here, man. I really do.
No.
Not you per se. I'm just saying in general, like it's already, assumed that Canelo is going to win. Canelo is going to win. Okay. I get that. 100%. But you know what? I guess when he fought Andre the first time he fought at that weight, who did he fight? Alex
Kovalev.
Kovalev, thank you.
Kovalev.
Yeah. When he fought him, he destroyed him, right? Kovalev was coming on. He wasn't that sharp at that point in his
career. And he was getting older too.
Right. So I don't think that it's a fair gauge of the talent in that division.
That's true.
right? So, and I really feel all the pressure is on Canelo,
Absolutely, it is. He's a favorite.
right?
He's got to perform.
But I think people are sleeping on Dimitri Bivol. I really do. He's got height, if he stays on the outside and then he fights from the outside using his size advantage and whatnot, I think he could potentially upset Canelo.
That'd be a big.
I'm not a betting guy, but if I were to put $100 down, I'd put it on Dimitri.
You would?
Yeah, I think so. I just have it's a gut feeling, and usually my gut's wrong. So anyone listening, please don't take my
I'm just
betting
glad they're letting
advice.
Dimitri fight because he is Russian for people that don't know. So the fight is going on, which is good.
Well, I think a lot of Russian fighters have been fighting. We saw that in the UFC. Peter Yan fought this past weekend as well, so he's Russian. Um,
And don't
so
forget, Dimitri's undefeated, right? And Canelo only's got that one loss to Mayweather. He's got the one draw with Triple G. So Canelo could be the first person to give Dimitri Bivol a loss.
yeah, well, no, that's the thing as well, right? I mean,
Stakes are high here.
there's a lot of things. I mean, Triple G's done his part. Canelo has to do his to make that fight.
Yeah.
If he doesn't win, then that fight's kind of pointless, anyways.
We might see Triple G versus Bivol, man. If this, who knows, right?
I don't know.
Triple G's got one or two more big money fights left in him.
Yeah.
He's 40 now, right? So
no, for sure. Also, so just let's touch pardon me. Let's quickly touch on the other fights that happened that night as well. Over on Top Rank, Michaela Mayer, she defended her IBF and WBO super featherweight titles. She got cut in the first round, but she drew blood herself with a straight left hook to the nose, and she basically won her fight there. Also that night we had Sebastian Fundora versus Erickson Lubin. Both got knocked down in this fight. Fundora got knocked down in the seventh round with a huge left hook. Lubin got knocked in the second. But you know what? After that seventh round, he came back, and Fundora just came back and dominated in the ninth. And the corner again, another corner stoppage here for this guy. Back and forth fight, uppercut. The uppercuts were working for him really well. So, this is pretty good. This lines him up now. Fundora, this lines him up for the winner of Jermell Charlo versus Brian Castano.
that'll be a good fight too, by the way.
Yeah. So the winner of that's going to set up the that fight's happening on May 14th as well. So May's kind of looking kind of cool too now, if you think about it. You got the Charlo fight here on that night as well, which is kind of interesting. I don't know if you're going to watch this or not, but Mr. Floyd Mayweather returns to the ring on May the 14th in Saudi Arabia, atop of a hotel.
Is he still fighting Dangerous Dan? It's got to be a prank. He's got to be fighting somebody else, right?
Dangerous Dan Moore, undefeated 18-0, last fought in 2016. Now, everyone he's fought, though, from my understanding, had a losing record. So this guy has never fought anyone of consequence or anything.
Why would the people from Saudi Arabia even want to see this fight?
The same reason people want to see Shawn Michaels fight.
That's different, though.
No. I get
it. A legend. This Dan Moore guy's a nobody in the grand scheme. Right?
In the grand scheme of things, he's a nobody, but the name is Floyd Mayweather.
No, I get it. But that's like Shawn Michaels coming back. No disrespect, but that's like Shawn Michaels coming back to wrestle Danny Deeds. Like, come on, man. I love Shawn Michaels, one of my heroes, but like, you want to see, hey, if Floyd came back and boxed against like De La Hoya or Mosley, you could say, okay, fine, former champ, these guys are legit. But Dan Moore, nobody's heard of this guy besides his family. I mean,
no,
I'm not trying to be rude to Dan, but like, come on.
No, you're not being rude to Dan at all. But this is just the style of Triple G. This is the style of Floyd. Floyd avoids everybody.
Yeah, and I don't knock Mayweather for making big money. I get it. He's 45, 46, but come on, dude.
Yeah, but even in retirement, you would think, okay, why don't I fight Roy Jones in an exhibition? Why don't I fight, like you said, a Bernard Hopkins, an Andre Ward? These guys are all retired.
I know.
It's an exhibition, right? So are you afraid of getting hurt? Are you afraid of getting punched?
I know.
Are you just trying to make yourself look better than everyone else? I mean, if anything, the time for you to have shown your dominance was against Logan Paul. And you played with your food.
Yeah.
You just played with him. And you know what I mean? It's just like, show me why you're Floyd Mayweather. Here's your opportunity. You could have shut up one of the Paul brothers.
He
right?
didn't.
And he did it. He looked weak in that fight. He took a shot in that fight. There's no way, for as great as you think you are, there's no way in fucking hell that you should be taking a shot from Logan Paul or any YouTuber,
No,
right?
no. Hey,
So,
speaking of superstar fights, I don't know if it's true or not. It's a rumor that I seen on one of those Manny Pacquiao fan sites. It could be all bullcrap, but supposedly Pacquiao is going to fight Conor McGregor in a boxing fight here, man.
no, that was actually supposed to happen last year.
Yeah, but it's
That
gonna
was,
he fought Ugas instead because he got that Spence fight.
yeah.
But you know what? If that happens, Pacquiao will whoop his ass a lot better than Mayweather did because Pacquiao is a little more savage, and McGregor is gonna go down.
Well, here's the way I look at it this way. From a boxing perspective, Floyd should have kicked the shit out of Connor as well.
Yeah, he
You
toyed with him a
know,
little bit, I think, to get the fans to show.
no, I get that completely, right? And Connor did well for himself in that
He
fight.
did.
And I
Yeah, he
mean,
looked
he is a boxer first. I get that.
good. Mm-hmm.
But this was supposed to happen when he was trying to figure out if he was going to fight Dustin for the third time or not. It was either going to
Yeah,
go back to the UFC or he was going to fight against Manny. And they came really, really close to it and closing the deal. So I don't know if that's being revisited again or whatnot, because I mean, Connor is probably going to be ready to go by July, August. I don't know
if
if,
that fight happens, you know I don't miss a Pacquiao fight. I'll be there.
yeah, no, for sure. And, but
I hope
I
it
just,
happens. I don't know if it will, but it'd be cool. It'd be a big money fight.
okay, for a Pacquiao fan like yourself, I can appreciate that. I personally think it's a pointless thing for Pacquiao. I don't think it benefits him in
He's
any
got
way.
nothing to gain by it.
No, there's nothing. There's nothing there for him. If anything, it's just, even for McGregor, there's nothing there. I mean,
Well, McGregor's
financially,
going to say, "Hey, I beat one of the greatest fighters ever." That's feathering his cap, right?
yeah, but I mean, is it an
But
exhibition
McGregor's
or is
got
it a
nothing to
fight?
lose. He's going to get paid a lot of money, and if Pacquiao knocks him out, and say, "Oh well, I lost to one of the greatest fighters ever," and if he does somehow put Pacquiao down, then Pacquiao looks like a chump. So McGregor has nothing to lose, really.
Well, the only thing that would concern me is that Connor has way much more power than Pacquiao does.
I don't know about that, man.
I do. I think so. I mean, not speed, not technique. I'm not
I
gonna.
don't think
I think he outshines them in those categories, but I think Connor probably has a little bit more, a little oomph on his punch.
I don't think so, dude. Not a boxing punch. Because I mean, if he can't hurt Mayweather, he's not hurting. He's not hurting Manny. Manny's been in absolute wars. I don't think he's gonna hurt Manny.
Well,
Manny
let's
was
see.
sitting there with Ugas and took major shots, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
but
it'll
we're all.
sting, but I don't think he can put Manny down.
I'm not saying he's gonna
I
put
know.
Manny down, but I think he can hold him at bay with his power. He
Well, he
make
couldn't
him
do it to
guess.
Floyd. I don't think he's gonna do it to Manny. Manny's aggressive as fucking there, dude.
Yeah. Well, like I said, if that fight happens, we'll go back and listen to this dialogue, and I'm sure you're right. But this
Anything can
weekend,
happen.
yeah. So this weekend we got Ugas against Errol Spence. Finally, here we go. April the 16th from AT&T Stadium in Texas.
I mean, just had
Uh
WrestleMania there. How spoiled are these people, man?
these guys are lucky, eh?
Oh man, I wish I lived out there.
I think I'd rather live in Vegas.
Yeah, if I was gonna move to America, I'd go to Vegas to go to the boxing fights.
Yeah, no, 100%. But here we are. We're fight week. I'm really looking forward to this. This is
So
going
am
to
I.
be a really, really interesting fight. Uh, I don't think you sleep on Ugas on this. I don't think he wins, but I don't think I'd be surprised if he walked out of there as well as the winner.
You think Spence can stop him?
It all depends on which Ugas comes. Pre-Pacquiao or post-Pacquiao Ugas. That's the way I like to
Yeah.
call them. He basically fought one style before he fought Pacquiao, which was a very aggressive and body attacking, not too much boxing from the outside, mainly just straight, strength and power. That's the way he fought before.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas when and his footwork wasn't really there either in his other fights. Yeah, enter Manny Pacquiao. I don't know if Pacquiao was expecting this from him or not, but he started fighting from the outside. His boxing started to tighten up. His footwork started to show up a little bit more. He was working his jab a bit more. He was working his jab, his range and distance a lot more, which I think put Manny out, out of sorts. But granted, Manny also was dealing with a leg injury at the time, which he never said. He never mentioned it once. All of it came out from other third-party sources. To this day, I've not heard Manny say a word about his legs not working or him not
Mm-hmm.
feeling well. So
Ugas is a smart fighter, and he had a good game plan for that fight too, right? I mean,
if Ugas comes out fighting the way he did against Pacquiao, I think that's going to challenge him more. If he fights old school, that fits right into the way that Errol likes to fight.
yeah.
So
Vegas has no respect for Ugas. He's a 4-1 underdog in this fight, so that means they're basically saying Spence should mop the floor with him. That doesn't always happen, as Cambosa was a 12-1 underdog, but the heavy favorite is Spence here. I mean, I think Ugas can win a decision, but I am rooting for him. But Spence is this is your time. If Spence can win, then we get that super fight, Spence versus Crawford, hopefully one day.
yeah, that's the thing. That's what that bothers me about this. I want Ugas to win only for the fact that then I know for sure
They'll fight Bud.
he'll fight Bud, right? Like I don't know how long Terrence or sorry, Earl's gonna keep ducking him. I mean, that's the fight to make. That's the fight that should be happening at the end of this year, one way or the other. I think Bud gets, I don't know when Bud's fighting next, but his next fight should be this unification,
Yeah, I don't
one
know
way or
why
the
they
other.
keep avoiding each other, man. They got to fight now. They're in their primes.
Well, I mean, Terrence is a free agent. I think he's going the route of Canelo by where he just represents himself and he goes to the networks to see who's who, right? I mean, it works for
And
him.
let's not forget, Crawford's 34. Spence is 32. So these guys aren't getting any younger. Their prime is only a few more years here. They got to get it going.
Well, it makes me
Before-
wonder how much Spence has left in him too. I mean, kid was thrown from a car, his eyes all fucked up.
Yeah. You
Like I
guys got to
mean,
target that eye. He probably will be.
would you if you know if a guy's got an injury, would you call that unsportsmanship if you're going for it?
Nope. That's part of the fight game. You got to exploit it. You got to exploit the injury, right? If you got a bad shoulder or, whatever it's going to be, bad chin, you got to go for it, right? Bad ribs, you got to hit it.
So do you think Errol's going to be really tentative and kind of guarding that eye a lot, which will probably open up his body a lot more too then, right?
I would assume so. I'm kind of thinking that. Crawford's undefeated too. I mean, the thing is like Crawford's 34. So
Yeah.
it's like Earl's 32. So it's kind of like this got to happen next year or so, but it's gonna
But
be too late.
out of the two though, who would you think has the better fight record in terms of guys fought?
I think Crawford.
Yeah. Same
Yeah,
here.
he's beat he's beat Kell Brook, he's beat Amir
Yeah.
Khan, Sean Porter. He
Yeah.
knocked out Porter, Kell Brook. He knocked out Amir Khan, Jeff Horn. I mean,
Yeah.
every body's knocked out pretty much, dude.
No, that's fair play, man. He's run the gambit. So yeah, we got that fight coming up here. Predictions?
I'm gonna take Ugas decision.
Do you think we
And
got
that's a long
decision?
shot. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Spence is the favorite, and he should be the favorite.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
Well, I think my heart's with Ugas. I want to see him win just because of what he's been able to accomplish so far. But before I make my prediction, here's something really interesting. So Ugas, every big fight that he's had on short notice. Pacquiao
Yes,
fight, a couple other fights before that, big names that he fought before that, the Porter fight, which he lost, but a lot of people thought he won.
it was close.
It was a
Actually,
close fight.
just watched that fight a few weeks ago.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the point is, of all the big fights that he's had, they were all on short notice. And outside of the Porter one, which he lost and should have won, he's basically won every one of them. So this
Mhm.
is the first big fight that he's having where he has a full cap and the guy he's fighting has a full cap.
That's
So
a good
that being
point.
so that being said, it ups the ante for Ugas, or would he be overtrained by that point? You know what I mean? Like these are the questions that I'm fighting with in my head in terms of trying to determine who's going to win this. Like, the short notice, you don't know what to expect from the guy. You have no idea where he's going to come from or what's his style going to be. So you're not prepared fully. But both guys have a full camp under their belts now. So that being said, my heart is Ugas, but I think Spence will end the fight in the 10th round.
I wouldn't be surprised, dude. You know what I mean? I think Ugas by decision, but you could be right, dude.
I don't think it's going to be a
Spence is the
knockout.
real deal.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a knockout. I think he's just going to I think Ugas is going to come out really strong. I think he's going to try to target the eye. He's going to try to target whatever he can. If he's going to end the fight, it's got to be in the first 5 rounds, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Because by that point, I think you're looking at a Triple G situation where he's going to find his way. He's going to
Yeah,
start to find
absolutely.
his range. He's going to start, picking his shots. And if he gets Ugas on his back foot and, back to his old style of fighting, I think this thing ends in a TKO in the 10th round.
I can't argue that, man. Yeah, the longer this fight goes, the better for Spence. Absolutely. Once he gets his groove and gets going, like you said, he'll be like a Triple G, and you're going to be in major, major trouble. You got to get this guy. He's got to dominate the first 5, 6 rounds to have a chance. Ugas
Yeah, yeah,
catch him with a
100%.
big shot, punish that eye. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Hit that eye,
yeah, yeah. No,
which
for
I'm
sure.
assuming Ugas will be targeting.
Yeah, that's the interesting
But
thing. I'm trying
Spence's
to.
camp says his eye is 100%. He's as good as it ever was. Who knows if that's true? We'll find out in a few days.
Yeah, no, we'll totally find out in a few days here. We're getting pretty close to it. Today is Tuesday, so we should start seeing some of the media pieces coming forward now. Final press conference will be Thursday with the weigh-ins on Friday and
That'll be
the
fun.
fight on Saturday. So that being said, brother, that's basically the week in boxing. We'll come back and we'll talk about this fight in detail, and then we'll look forward to what's coming up next, which will
Oh, I can't
probably
wait for
be
that, man.
the Tyson Fury versus Dillian White fight. That's
They're
the next
expecting
one.
90,000 people at Wembley Stadium for this.
94,000.
That's insane.
That's
That'd
awesome.
be the biggest boxing fight ever as far as indoor
Yeah.
attendance. Or sorry, attendance.
Uh Wembley. I think it's open roof, or does it have a roof?
Sorry,
I can't
yeah, I mean
remember.
like for like attendance.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
got to be
No.
ever
We're talking WrestleMania 3 numbers here, man.
bigger.
Bigger, right? I think SummerSlam at Wembley they had 80, what was it? 80,000 people?
Something like that, 78 to 80.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, the Brits come out, man.
Well,
I've been a part of some of those big crowds in Britain and England, so it's phenomenal. It's when
I
you're a
wish I
part of
was
a
there,
crowd
man.
that big,
I would love to be at
it's
this fight.
yeah, it'd be really fun. I would love to get out there if I can. I have a lot of family out that way, so it'd be fun to go visit everyone as well and kind of show you London town, man, my home away
Plus
from
see,
home.
plus see my Manchester United while I'm out there if the time's up.
If it times out well, you could probably plan it all out, man. Get up to Old Trafford and yeah, maybe that's a trip that we make at some point here. Let's see.
Because what before we shut this down, you think Tyson Fury and Canelo are the two biggest stars in boxing? It's not even close.
Tyson Fury and who, sorry?
And Canelo.
Um, yeah, and I'd probably, if I had to pick a side, I'd probably go Fury.
Oh, me too, because he's entertaining as hell, man.
He's entertaining as hell, and you know what? He's like a modern day Ali, in my opinion. Not, don't get me wrong, please, anybody. When I say he's like a modern day Ali, he's one of the few fighters left that backs up everything he says before a fight.
Yeah, and his fights are always exciting, man. Somebody's
Yeah.
going down.
Well, this is going to be an interesting fight. I mean, okay, so the question remains now: will Dillian show up to any more press conferences? He hasn't shown his face at all yet. So
He's
he's
just trying
just
to play mind games, I think. But once you get in that ring, buddy, there's nowhere to go.
yeah. But here's the only knock I have on Dillian. The fact that he got knocked out in his last fight against was it Pulev?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So Pulev knocked him out. That for me is just like takes the shine right off.
Mhm.
Like he dominated that fight. He just got caught with one nice shot on the chin, and that was it. Yes,
Yeah.
he came back and he avenged that loss, but Tyson's gotten stronger. Tyson has more power,
Oh, yeah.
right? I mean, when he came back from his first Deontay fight to the third fight, it's like a video game. If you can picture him, like you go with your boxer and you go to the gym and you train him to build up your attributes.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's attributes are jacked right now, in my opinion. I don't think there's anyone stronger or more powerful than he is
No,
right now in boxing.
no. I totally agree. He's the king of boxing now, man. People love him. He's entertaining. He's got a great personality. He's a great guy. He's got everything you want. And it's just too bad he's fighting Dillian White. He should be fighting Joshua or Usyk.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, that fight with the world situation and the
Well, I know
climate of the
Usyk's back
world.
training. That's going down
No,
maybe.
no, that's going down. They're talking July for that. July or August is my understanding.
So
It was
whoever wins that fight needs to fight Fury next, man.
well, I really think that Joshua will retain.
You think he's going to beat him?
I think so.
Maybe. I hope
Because
Usyk wins just for the simple fact I don't want to see Joshua Usyk 3. I want to see Fury fight one of these guys.
I really feel that Joshua should have won the last fight, but he fought in a very he fought a style of fight that wasn't indicative of him. He was trying to
Yeah.
fight his fight.
That's a couple times Joshua's done that. You know what I
Well,
mean?
yeah, and the two times he's done it, he's lost the fucking title,
Yeah.
right? He
I'll
did
tell
that
you right
against
now, if he
Ruiz.
ever fights Fury, Fury's going to knock him out.
I don't think anyone can stand in front of Fury. But that being said, though, any given night, I mean, Oscar Waldine cut him up pretty deep, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Fury's
Right?
undefeated though too. Right? He's never lost. He's only got that one draw with Wilder, so he's an unreal.
No. He's an unreal talent. He took out the most powerful puncher in the world. He did
Finished
fight the
his career.
Klitschko's,
Pretty
right?
much finished his career.
Yeah, he's pretty much done. I think Derek Chisora is kind of calling him out, saying, "Hey, why don't you fight me now?"
I know he already beat him in 2014.
Yeah, but it'd be a good fight now. Like I think
8 years ago, no. I want to see him do Usyk and Fury, one of those guys. After he's cleaned up the whole division, there's nobody left for him.
No, Deontay, I'm talking about.
Oh, Deontay. Oh, okay, that'd be a good fight. I thought you meant.
Yeah.
Fury.
No. You confused me. No. I know he already beat up Chisora, but what I'm saying is that Derek Chisora is calling at reaching out to Deontay
Yeah,
Wilder,
that'd be a good fight. That'd
right?
be cool.
And saying to him like, "Hey, why don't we go?" I think the best fights for Deontay right now would either be an Andy Ruiz. I like to see that fight.
That'd be good.
I think that'd be a good fight for Deontay because he could probably knock him out in one round.
Or maybe if Joshua loses to Usyk, then we could see Wilder and Joshua.
Wilder and Joshua is the other thing that I was going to call out there as well, and Derek Chisora would be another fun fight as well.
Mm-hmm.
He's a journeyman, so that'd be a fun fight. I think anyone that fights Wilder next needs to allow Wilder to shine,
Yeah.
right?
And be damn careful because he's going to be hungry, man. He's going to be going for that knockout. He just got embarrassed.
But I think he's being fully exposed too. Now the code is out on how to fight this guy, man.
Mm-hmm.
Up, down. No. All you do is up, down, left, right, A, B, punch.
Yeah.
Right? The formula is out on this guy. I don't know. He might be best served just not coming back.
He's considering not coming back. I think he's on the fence, but do you want to go?
What's he come back for? I don't see him beating Fury ever again.
No, Fury will never. There's no need to fight him. Fury's beat him twice.
Right? I mean, it makes it easier for guys like Joshua and stuff to fight him now because they know the code.
Mm.
They know how to fight this guy. Before, everyone was so scared of that right hand. Like, he walked everyone down. He was a bully in the ring, right?
Oh, yeah.
Tyson exposed him. So, I mean, at the end of the day, what are you going to do with him?
Yeah.
He might be best served. Like, that's why I said, fight a guy like Andrew Ruiz, who has a horrible chin.
And see what you can do with that.
Yeah. Like, he'd knock him out flush. No problem.
Yeah.
But then again, Ruiz, those short little punches and those short little rabbit
took
jabs.
Joshua down, so you never know. Yeah.
But I think no one really knew who Andy Ruiz was up until that point, right?
Not really, no.
So him coming back, and now people know what to expect. I mean, he's got those little rabbit punches. He's like for a big man, he's very fast.
He is very fast for a big man.
But he has no chin.
No. That'd be a good fight. I wouldn't mind seeing that.
And he hasn't fought in almost a year himself now.
Ruiz, right? No, I seen him training the other day. I seen some training videos of him. So he's in there training. So he's gonna have something coming up.
Well, he's got a lot of time now with that Reynoso now too, right? So Eddie Reynoso, that's his trainer. So I mean, I'm kind of curious to see what that next fight's gonna look like for him as well. The world is opening up, man. There's no excuses. All these fights should be happening.
Totally agree, man. And we got a couple big fights coming up here in April and May, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. It's just getting 100%. Started right now.
No, for sure, man. Well, on that note, I will like to take leave and carry on with the rest of the day here. So that being said, I want to say thank you to everybody for listening to us, for letting us into your ears. I know you guys have a lot of opportunities and choices for your entertainment. And so thank you for that. Thank you for joining us. Chance, you got anything?
In the words of the great AC/DC, for those who listen to the podcast, we salute you.
Awesome, brother. All right, we'll be back with a wrestling podcast later this week, just to kind of touch up on the weekly activity of professional wrestling, both worldwide and locally. So stay tuned for that. We will also be back with another boxing shot here, reviewing the Ugas Errol Spence fight and looking forward to the upcoming fights that are coming. So that being said, I am Bobby Sampson. He is Chance Michaels. we want to say thank you and good night. Be safe, everybody, and be humble. Have a great night.